The world of K-pop is a dazzling spectacle of shimmering lights, pristine performances, and carefully crafted personas. Yet beneath the glamour lies a delicate, often volatile, world of emotions, personal struggles, and hidden truths. When Kim Taehyung, widely known as V of BTS, found himself at the heart of a love triangle that unfolded before the eyes of the public, the boundary between his personal life and the stage dissolved in a way no one expected. The story began quietly, like most tales of romance do, away from the scrutinizing eyes of millions. Taehyung had always been the enigmatic heartthrob, his charm lying not just in his striking visuals, but also in his unguarded moments of authenticity. While the media portrayed him as a man deeply dedicated to his art, those closest to him knew there was more to his world. A world few had been privileged to glimpse in the spring of 2023. During one of BTS's brief hiatuses, Taehyung found himself wandering the streets of Paris. The city's timeless beauty and melancholic charm mirrored his mood. It was here, in a quiet bookstore tucked away in the Latin Quarter, that he met Solene, a young art curator with an effortless elegance that seemed to belong to the city itself. Their meeting was serendipitous, both reaching for the same book, their hands brushing ever so slightly. Solene was unlike anyone Taehyung had met. She didn't recognize him at first, or if she did, she didn't let it show. Her focus remained on their shared conversation about art, literature, and the magic of Parisian sunsets. For Taehyung, it was a refreshing change from the constant adulation and attention. Their connection deepened over the weeks. Late-night calls, strolls along the Seine, and quiet dinners became their shared rhythm. Taehyung found solace in Solene's world, a world untainted by the chaos of his fame. Unbeknownst to Solene, another woman had already held a significant place in Taehyung's life. Minji, a childhood friend from Daegu, had been his confidant and emotional anchor long before BTS became a global phenomenon. Their relationship was rooted in years of shared memories and unspoken understanding. While Taehyung and Minji had never officially labeled their relationship, their bond was undeniable. To Minji, Taehyung was more than just a friend. He was the boy who had once vowed to take her to every corner of the world, the boy who had shared his dreams with her beneath the stars. When Taehyung returned to Seoul after his Parisian escapade, his interactions with Minji resumed. But things were different now. While he cherished Minji's presence, his thoughts often wandered to Solene and the ethereal world they had built together in Paris. The love triangle might have remained a private affair if not for a single, fateful photograph. In the summer of 2024, during BTS's comeback promotions, a candid shot of Taehyung and Solene surfaced online. The photograph, taken at a cafe in Paris months prior, showed the two in an intimate moment, laughing over a shared joke. The internet erupted. Fans dissected every detail, from Solene's expression to the book on the table between them. Who was she? How did she know Taehyung? The speculation was endless, and soon, the media caught wind of the story. Minji, who had always stayed in the shadows of Taehyung's fame, found herself thrust into the spotlight. Paparazzi camped outside her home, and old photographs of her with Taehyung began circulating online. The narrative became a battle of allegiances, Team Solene versus Team Minji. For Taehyung, the situation was both overwhelming and heartbreaking. The private sanctuary he had tried to maintain was now exposed to the harsh glare of public scrutiny. Solene, unfamiliar with the ferocity of K-pop fandoms, struggled with the invasion of her privacy. Minji, on the other hand, was hurt by the public perception that she was merely a relic of Taehyung's past. In interviews, Taehyung remained silent on the matter, his usual candor replaced by a carefully crafted neutrality. But his silence only fueled the fire. Every gesture, every glance, and every cryptic social media post was analyzed for clues. In November 2024, during a concert in Seoul, Taehyung addressed the issue directly for the first time. Standing on stage, his voice steady but laced with emotion, he spoke about the challenges of balancing his personal life with his career. He acknowledged the hurt caused to those he cared about and pleaded for understanding from his fans. "I am human," he said, his voice echoing through the arena. "I make mistakes, I feel deeply, and sometimes I don't have all the answers. But I ask you to respect the people in my life, as they never asked for this spotlight." While he didn't explicitly name either Solene or Minji, his words carried weight. They were a testament to the complexity of love and the vulnerability of living under constant scrutiny. In the months that followed, the frenzy gradually subsided. Taehyung distanced himself from the public eye, choosing to focus on music and reconnecting with his artistry. Solene returned to Paris, where she found solace in her work. Minji, too, retreated from the spotlight, finding peace in the familiarity of Taegu. While the world may never know the full extent of Taehyung's emotions or the decisions he made, his story served as a poignant reminder of the humanity behind the idol. Love, in all its forms, is never simple, especially when it unfolds in the public eye, and so, the tale of Kim Taehyung's love triangle became a chapter in the ever-evolving story of his life, a chapter marked by passion, heartbreak, and the enduring quest for authenticity in a world that demands perfection. As the dust settled, each individual involved in the love triangle embarked on their own journey of healing. For Taehyung, this meant rediscovering himself outside of the public's gaze. He spent the early months of 2025 away from Seoul, retreating to the quiet countryside of Jeju Island. There, surrounded by nature's tranquility, he poured his emotions into songwriting, a form of catharsis he had always turned to in times of turmoil. His music took on a new depth, melancholy yet hopeful, reflecting the complexity of his recent experiences. These songs, though not immediately released, became an intimate diary of his thoughts, a bridge between the man he was and the man he was becoming. For Solene, returning to Paris was bittersweet. The city that once felt like home now seemed rife with reminders of her time with Taehyung. She threw herself into her work, curating an exhibition centered on the theme of duality, light and shadow, love and loss, fame and anonymity. Her exhibit became a quiet success, drawing in visitors from around the world. Those who knew her personally could see glimpses of her relationship with Taehyung in the pieces she chose to display. But Solene rarely spoke of him. Instead, she let her art communicate the emotions she couldn't articulate. Minji, meanwhile, found solace in her roots. Returning to Taegu allowed her to reconnect with the simpler life she had always cherished. Surrounded by family and childhood friends, she began to see her relationship with Taehyung in a new light. While she still cared deeply for him, she realized that her happiness couldn't depend on his feelings alone. In time,